called human interaction. He's a hujjah, he's always there for you. Similarly, Imam Zamana, we may not be able to see him. If you look at him through the eyes of your heart, you can feel his presence. Imam Askari says, but we are Allah's hujjah upon the people. Our grandmother Fatima is Allah's hujjah upon us, the Imams. As in to say, she was always present, no matter what the circumstances. That's the azamah of Lady Fatima. Perhaps this is why they say when Nabi Adam was created and Bibi Hawa was created, they went through heaven. They were full of joy and happiness. All of the angels bow down to us. There's no one like us. We have so much light. As they were thinking this, in the corner of heaven, they saw a glistening nur, which got bigger and bigger as they approached it. So much so they could not bear its light anymore. They said, oh Allah, I thought we were the first of creation. Whose nur is this? And the call came, this is the nur of Sayyidah Fatima. Her nur was created thousands and thousands of years before even you were made. In fact, it's because of her and her father and her sons and her husband that the angels were bowing down towards you, because you had that knowledge of those special names. And last but not least, the third part, finish on this, fadak. You see, sometimes, because of repeated use, in Urdu we say kasrat bayan, a word's meaning changes. For example, Karachi, I always use this example. Karachi originally was called what? Karachi. Karachi became Karachi eventually. Halab in Syria was originally called Halib, milk. Why is a town called milk? Because Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam would be there and he would distribute milk for free. Halib over the centuries became Halab. Today there's no Halib, there's only Halab. Fadak originally was called Fidaki. May her father be ransomed for her. Just like Imam Musa Kadhim said for Bibi Masuma Kum, may her father be ransomed for her. Rasulullah, when he gave this land as a gift, it wasn't from the public treasury, it was a gift to Bibi Fatima. It was called Fidaki. And obviously as the years went by, it became Fadak. It was Bibi Fatima's exclusively. When you mention this, many say, but Rasulullah had other daughters. Mention the other daughters. We reply, we have no issue with this. If he had 4 daughters, 5, 6, 7, you tell us about it. But he only had one father. And he only gave fadak to one father. If he had given that land to any other daughter, why didn't she come to the darbar to contest her right with Bibi Fatima? Fadak remained exclusive to Bibi Fatima. The famous Mu'tazili scholar Ibn Abil Hadid, he wrote a whole commentary on Nahj al-Balagha, the Mu'tazili scholar. He says, I asked my teacher, why did the first ruler not give fadak to Bibi Fatima? The Quranic indicators were there, the Prophet's sayings were there. Why did he usurp fadak? He said, my teacher smiled. He said, Ustad, why are you smiling? He said, because it was never to do with fadak. He said, what was it to do with? He said, the first ruler knew, if today I give fadak to Fatima, tomorrow she would come and ask for the rulership for Imam Ali, Wilaya. And he could not give the rulership to Imam Ali. It was never about fadak. He knew it would create a precedence for Fatima to be right. 2 people are called Siddiq and Siddiqa, both cannot be correct. We know if we were there, whose side we would be on. It's a question for the Muslim Ummah. Why is it that after the Prophet's daughter is leaving this world at the age of 18 with her back knelt, her hair gone white? Why is she walking around with a staff? Why is Rasulullah's daughter, Asma bint Umays narrates, I saw with my own eyes, Rasulullah's daughter, Bibi Fatima, would walk using the walls in the house. That's how badly damaged her ribs and her body became. You see, for any mother, when she's leaving this world, may Allah protect all of the mothers, she always remembers her children. Bibi Fatima was no different. It is said when she told Imam Ali, oh Ali, bury me in the night. Before you go, read some of the Quran by my grave. Imam Ali did so. Then for some moment he fell asleep. In his dream, he saw Bibi Fatima. She said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, you reciting the Quran brings me peace. Let's go back home. Why, Fatima? She said, because our Zainab has woken up and she's asking for me, but I'm not there. Oh, Abul Hassan returned back home. Imam Hassan also narrates, what I saw, none of my siblings ever saw. There was always one street in Medina where Imam Hassan would never walk by. They would say, why, oh Imam Hassan, why don't you walk by this street? It's a shortcut. He would say, the man who killed my mother, the man who beat my mother in front of me, lives in this street. I cannot bear to see his face when I walk by. And so Bibi Fatima is leaving this world, that door where the angel of death stood and asked for permission. The Muslims brought the fire. They said, oh Fatima, bring out Ali. We need to take bayah from him. They said, Ali will not come out. So the man replied, then I will burn this house down. They said, Fatima is inside. Ali, Hassan and Hussein are inside. He said, so what if they're inside? I will still burn this house down. So they began burning the house of Fatima. Bibi Fatima tried to hold the door as best as she could. They began pushing on the door until one kick came through. Bibi Fatima was between the wall and the door. The La'in who did this wrote a letter in which he said, I could feel Fatima behind the door, but I remembered the bughs I had for her husband and for her. So I began to push harder. Then when she came in front of me, I slapped her so hard, my hand began hurting. Fatima came to the ground. They began whipping her. They began beating her. Fatima was there bleeding. And so some of her musibah, Imam Ali found out when he was performing her ghusl. He would say to Asma, you see these cuts to her eyes, you see these bruises to her face, the bruising to her arm. This is what Fatima hid from me. She did not want me to see. But I finish with this. Imam Ali brought the taboot of Bibi Fatima. He left it in the middle of the house. He said, oh Zainab, oh Kulthum, oh Hassan, oh Hussein, come say your final wida. They say all the children came forward. They began crying. Just then the angels came. They said, Ya Ali, remove the likes of Hussein from the chest of Fatima. Why? Because the angels in the heavens cannot bear to see the crying of Hussein on the chest of Fatima. I would say, oh angels of the heavens, you could not bear to see Hussein on the chest of Fatima. How did you bear to see the likes of Shimr sitting on the chest of Hussein? I tell you this, Zainab was there in Medina, Zainab was there in Karbala, but there's a difference. In Medina, she saw Imam Ali come forward and remove Hussein from the chest of Fatima. In Karbala, she would see the likes of Shimr come forward and remove Sakina from the chest of Hussein. She would see the likes of Shimr remove Sakina from the chest of her father Hussein. Allah la'natullahi al-qawmi zalimin wa sayalamu allazina zalamu ayyamun kalibun. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Bibi Fatima wa abiha wa ba'aliha wa baniha, to accept our humble offering, to forgive us of our sins, to protect us and our families, to forgive the sins of our marhumeen, and to allow us to be with Bibi Fatima fi dunya wa fil qabr wa fil akhirah. For the love of Bibi Fatima, can we recite aloud salawat?
माशाल्लाह दुरियाब मौला आपकी तौफीक़ात में इसी तरह इजाफ़ा करवाए है और आगे बढ़ने की तौफीक अता फरमाए। अब मैं बग़ैर किसी बिला तकल्लुफ़ के मैं दावत देता हूँ हुज्जतुल इस्लामुल मुस्लिमीन मौलाना सैयद मोहम्मद रज़ा काज़मी साहब से कि वो आएँ और फ़रोज़ मिंबर हों पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवा।
नारे तकबीर, नारे रिसाला, नारे रिसाला,
या रसूल अल्लाह,
नारे हैदरी,
या
नारे हैदरी, मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद अज्जिल फरजहुम। इब्तिदा में आपकी समातों का जायज़ा भी ले लूँ और जो हमारे भाई पढ़ रहे थे हज़रत सुलेमान का वाक़या اس کے متعلق آپ کو ایک شعر ہدیہ کروں تو مجھے اندازہ ہو جائے گا کہ میں کس انداز کی مجلس سکینہ ٹرسٹ میں آج انشاءاللہ